I have a few minutes left in today. Found my sockets, if you've been following along. Gonna try to get the rear bumper cover on. Not 100% sure what I need to do with that license plate light. It might need to go. I think it needs to come out and then it gets bolted onto the outside. This is one of the hardest things to deal with back here. I think I need to get those screws out of it because I think it bolts in from the inside. I need to get myself a screwdriver. Okay, the screws go in from the outside, but the light receptacle itself stays on the inside. A little tricky to get that lined up and get the screw in it because it's hard to hold from the outside, but the light fixture itself is on the inside. I think it's the hardest part of this job is in that thing in there. Sometimes the littlest things are the most difficult to get in there because of clearance issues. And these particular screws have a little washer around the outside of them, and gets in the way of you turning the screw, the washer just spins on the screw. Okay, now let's start it good. I'm going to pause the camera a bit while I tighten these in. Because you're not seeing anything here anyway. After all that, it would appear that I had this light in backwards, because when I went to put it up, the bumper would not go up. So I'm going to try to flip it the other way. This way. Again, I'm going to struggle with not being able to turn that screw because of the washer on it. Before I tighten those all the way, I'm going to try to do what I was trying to do when I decided it might be all wrong. And that is get this bumper up on here. Got to go in from the bottom first. I guess that's probably useful to know. And now, let's see if we can line up the bolts that go in here. There are 3 of them. started. Must need some more aligning. Can't do it left-handed. There we go. No, we don't. I'm going to need to shed a little bit of light on that. I honestly expected this to go on a little bit easier. I don't know why. Thought I had that started, but I guess not. I might have pulled that bottom one out too. I'm not going to tighten these all the way, I just want to get them started because I want to be able to shift this thing back and forth if necessary. Because the next thing that has to go on are these things in the back. There's a metal plate goes behind the mounts back there. That would be this one, and it has threaded holes in it that these screws go in. These go on the outside of the bumper. This is behind the bracket that holds it on. So, let's see if we can reach up under there. Have to put some of that stuff in. I think I'm going to have to put this car up higher so I can get under there and get my arm up to that height. Okay, I moved the camera and I'm going to try to zoom in a bit on what I'm doing there. It seemed like maybe it would be easier if I'd work on the one on the left first, but I'm going to try to do the one on the right, because that's the one I took apart already. This has to go up behind. Almost seems like if I put the other one in first, it will pull this one in some. maybe if I work on getting the screw through the bracket first, and then put that up behind it. I might be able to turn the screw with a screwdriver and pull it in. I think I caught the thread. I didn't catch the thread. That one caught. Okay, now this one will be easier. And the third screw goes in the bottom. That holds the bracket in that the tail light screws into. Okay, that bracket is in. I'm going to feed the light bulb through it because that needs to hook to the light before it goes in. I'm not tightening those all the way yet because I might need to shift them for the next one. But I think I found the trick here is on the first screw, at least get it through these outer pieces first so that when you put the piece that goes in the back up, you can hit the threads. And that becomes easier. That one started. Whoops. I forgot this piece. Too anxious. Screw through there, and the skin of the bumper, and the bracket that's holding it on, and then put the backing plate on. That'll work better. Screw all of those. Get the backing plate in. Line it up. That screw started. Second screw started. Third screw is started. Bringing the bulb through. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side, but I'm not gonna video it because it's just more of this same old stuff. Tighten this up a little before I go over there and do that. Okay. I will put those two backing plates on the other side, and then I'll come back and do the taillights. I've got all those screws in and tightened, but one comment: do yourself a favor and just drop that license plate bulb through and put that license plate lens socket in after you've done everything else. I tried it both ways and it wouldn't go. I had to take the 3 bolts behind the license plate out and drop it through, and then I was able to get it in there. So we're on to the final part now. That's the tail lights, and you just there's 3 prongs, one of which is larger, that have to line up. And then you give it a little twist till it clicks. Then two screws. I guess they could be a little bit challenging to get into the place where they're supposed to go. I thought I had that one and it didn't. Take them both out instead of trying to pull them that way, and see if we can see to line up. Don't know if there's a top and a bottom to this. That's what I'm trying to figure out. There may be. There is a pin and there is another hole. Well, but not on the back plate. There, it finally went in. There was a pin on the right side. There was a hole. But I had trouble finding that hole with the pin. It appears on the next light there is no hole. So those are long screws. I would have got at my little impact driver screwdriver thing, but use that, you run the risk of cracking the plastic. So I don't like to do that. This one, two of the slots are bigger and one is smaller, but it doesn't appear like the actual places that go in it are any different. That writing's upside down, so let's put it right side up. Don't want to go too tight with these, don't want to crack any tail lights. That's in there tight. Okay, I'm going to show you the three little bolts on the where the license plate goes. Those are the last three that I'm going to show. The other two tail lights I'm just going to put in off camera because they'll be the same as the right side. Now, of course, I do not have the inside trim pieces that bolt the top or the edge of the rear bumper to the body. I don't have those in there yet, but those are mostly so that you can tighten them and align for a nice clean line here. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm just going to put those last two tail lights in, and that'll be a wrap. The rear bumper will be, for the most part, on. One last thing to watch out for on the tail lights is this is the tail light, all red, not the backup light. These, trying to show you, there's one bigger slot here. Now on the tail light bulb, there is one bigger tab that will only work in this taillight lens. On the backup light ones, there's 3 small metal tabs. You can see it on that one. And they go into 3 slots, and 2 of the slots are big and 1 is small, but all 3 of those tabs are the same size. But I had the wrong bulbs fed through the hole. I had to switch them because I was going to have my backup light on the outside and my tail light on the inside.